14 million, the Palestinian People's Conference, to restore the rights of our people, rebuild the Palestine Liberation Organization, and reaffirm its liberation role. Our steadfast people. Since it was founded in the mid-60s, the PLO's task was to pursue a humane national liberation project against the domination of a settler colonial occupation project that has not yet ended. Historically, the PLO brought the focus of the international community to our just national cause, placing Palestine within a progressive liberation discourse that continues to gain support from growing solidarity movements around the world. The PLO provided a national framework to lift the Palestinian people from the rubble of al-Nakba and fragmentation of exile, and to breathe life and spirit into our struggle. A tool for liberation, return, and rebuilding, the PLO's place at the heart of resistance was cemented. Its popularity gained momentum as a unifying, sole legitimate representative of the Palestinian people, both in the Arab world and in the international arena. This was because they led the struggle for Palestinian people's liberation, a struggle that Palestinians have sacrificed dearly for, with tens of thousands of wounded, martyred, and imprisoned. But the signing of the Oslo Accord has resulted in the PLO relinquishing its tools for liberation. The rights of our people were compromised as Palestine shrunk to 22% of its original borders, while the settler colonialist regime expanded and entrenched its apartheid rule. Oslo also resulted in the creation of the Palestinian Authority and the reduction of the PLO to an empty shell, void of its goals, objectives, and power. Now, there is no liberation and no return in the horizon. Now we stand stripped of a unified national body that represents us as a nation. Now we are stripped of a national project that unifies us with a clear political vision. This absence of leadership generated a storm of independent initiatives. Many set out to restore the National Liberation Project by reclaiming the PLO as a democratic national framework that can act as a tool for liberation in order to reignite the hopes and confidence of our people, and to energize and enhance our steadfastness to resist the obliteration of our struggle. At the heart of these initiatives are the calls for self-determination and our right to return. These are legitimate rights under international humanitarian law and in accordance with UN Resolution 194. These initiatives have sprung from the awakening, the wave of rising popular protests in historic Palestine and in diaspora. We witnessed of late the unified resistance exemplified by organized protests of prisoners, farmers, workers everywhere. We have witnessed the rise in support amongst the youth for the idea of one Palestine, a democratic, single geographic unit. And we saw this embodied in the Unity Intifada and in the Karama Uprising of May 2021. We also see hope in the successes achieved by the BDS movement, the Boycotts, Divestments and Sanctions movement, and from the rolling international human rights reports that have condemned Israel and called it an apartheid regime, and therefore defined its policies and practices now against the Palestinian people as a crime against humanity. It is from this standpoint that we, a group of Palestinians of all generations from various national and social movements, from diverse professional, political, and academic backgrounds, some of us in the homeland, others scattered in countries around the world, that we have come together to announce the launch of preparations for the 14 million popular Palestine Conference, a conference that calls for rebuilding the PLO by holding elections for the Palestinian National Council in order to restore and to earn its role as a true representative of the Palestinian people, one that is worthy of spearheading the project for liberation, return, and for a life with dignity. This International Palestinian Popular Conference will be held on the 5th of November as a first step towards forming a broad popular bloc that is capable of exerting real pressure to call for elections for the Palestinian National Council, which in turn will elect the leadership of the Palestine Liberation Organization. Signed, 14 million, the Palestinian People's Congress Preparatory Committee.